Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We are back, baby. You know, summertime. Still alive here in New York City. So much basketball, so much going on. But we still got to get these shows in. You know what I'm saying? Tonight's sponsor is by Hoop. All right? It's by my guy, Wes Robinson, down in South Carolina. Help other people. This is dope. It's a dope acronym, man. He's helping a lot of kids down there in South Carolina. And he has a lot to do with, with all the guys our age, right? The 50s and 60s over. He's always in the cut playing. So I want to say a big salute to you, Wes. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep helping those kids. Hoop, helping other people. All right. Welcome to Basketball Heads Live. I am your host, Glenn Poole Harding. And tonight, we have a very special show. Turn this mic up some. Make sure the world hear me. This basketball head is a New York City legend. Man, he did it on so many levels. St. Raymond's High School and ACC Hall of Fame inductee. His jersey is also retired at his alma mater at North Carolina State University. At St. Ray's, he was a McDonald's All-American, First Team Parade All-American, and Mr. Basketball of New York State, among other awards. This basketball head was also selected as a part of our All-Decade team. That's right, for the 2000s. Let's take a glimpse at his high school career. In his junior year, this basketball head stepped up into the primary scoring role, averaging 20 points and 7 rebounds per game, putting the city on notice that I'm that next guy. And in the senior year, he did just that, averaging 25 points, 5 assists, 4 steals per game, kicking a lot of ass around the country. And you had to do it on all levels, which he did. After being highly recruited, this basketball head chose to attend North Carolina State, home of New York City's own Mo Rivers, Lorenzo Charles, and Ernie Myers. Go do your homework on them guys. Definitely. As a Wolfpack, this basketball head began where he left off in high school, in the ACC, averaging 10 points a game as a freshman. Then bumped up to 17 points as a sophomore, 18 as a junior, and named ACC Player of the Year. Y'all know how hard that is? Let you know he was official. His senior year, he averaged 17 points, but this basketball head was also selected 20th overall out of North Carolina State in the NBA draft. That's right, first round, baby, by the Denver Nuggets. This basketball head spent time in Milwaukee and the Seattle Supersonics, now the Oklahoma Thunder. This basketball head continued his career overseas in Italy, Adelaide 36ers, Melbourne Tigers, and a host of other teams from 2007 until 2013. This basketball head began his coaching career as the head of player development at the University of Buffalo in upstate New York. Then he moved to Santa Clara, then to San Jose State, Little Rock, and now he is the head coach at Lincoln University. You heard? Please, welcome to the show, New York City legend, Julius Hodge.
Y'all ready? Yes. You have just stepped out into the world of chaos. Where everybody goes hard. Come on. Go hard. 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 Or go home. Never back down. get online, buy your tickets, cause the game about to start.
Coach, what's happening? How you doing?
I'm good. I appreciate that introduction for sure. Was that you on the intro or rapping there at the end?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I see you getting them bars in. Okay.
I spent some time, and I tell people this, right? It's a crazy story before we jump into this. After I graduated, right, I couldn't go and continue my basketball career because I had to come home and take care of some family situations, which, turned out okay, being the youngster that I was, taking care of my sister's kids. And I needed another outlet. And the fact that I couldn't play basketball where I wanted to play, like go overseas where I had some options, I dove into the music.
Okay.
Right. So I, and being in school, I was, school DJ, and I was the program director, and always writing. And luckily I had a good friend of mine, AB Money, who was down with Easy Mo B, super producer. And, we got together, and we had some good times in the music industry for a long time. And I didn't come back to basketball until 2020 when I started the podcast.
Wow, during COVID.
Right. So you got to remember,
Wow.
I went to Lincoln. I missed the Sebastian era. I miss Lance. I miss Isaiah. Like,
okay, now it
Tiny was my point guard. So I wasn't, I was just invisible. Anyway, make a long story short, like right before COVID hit, I think a month before the lockdown started, a lot of my guys was passing away. The Dave Edwards, Chris Brooks, Mo Kirby's, Lee Green, and a host of others, Jonathan Duck. These guys were in my era, and I just felt like, damn, these guys, lost their lives, and no one was here to tell their stories. So I just, did some research and started realizing on YouTube, nobody was recording New York City stories. We are the mecca of basketball.
Absolutely.
And me being an educator, I taught history for good 10, 12 years. And I noticed that a lot of our stories was written by somebody else.
Absolutely. But we appreciate you and what
No
you're
doubt.
doing. I appreciate that intro for sure.
Nah, for sure. So that was my little time in the music industry, and now we are here. And Basketball Heads has been a blessing for myself and others, especially being able to help little kids. But I want to, honor you tonight, brother, because you have done so many amazing things. I've heard about you. My guy Barry Lastra from Harlem used to always brag about you when you were in high school. He was like, yo, this dude, he a little bit taller than you, Poole. Y'all guys got same game. Like, this guy, like, you had to check him out. And I'd be like, I'm not going to no high school games. I would just read during the post, right? You see some things on MSG, some highlights, and be like, oh, son is nice. He's doing his thing.
For sure.
And, that's why I was able to follow you from afar, man. Who introduced you to the game?
So my older brother, Steve Hodge, he introduced me to basketball. Ever since I could remember, I was watching him play, and he had a ball in my hand. So his number one thing was hard work. He said, what God gives you in terms of athleticism or size, it doesn't matter. It's all about outworking your opponent. Since I can remember, that's what I did.
Salute to your brother Steve, man. Salute, man, for sure. What part of New York you was brought up in?
Harlem, man. Harlem world. Come on now. Come on,
I know. I know, but the world don't know. So I got to ask you these questions that act like I don't know. Trust me, I've done my research.
Absolutely.
So that's why I said Harlem, my guy B from Harlem.
That's right. About 4 blocks away from Rucker Park. Grew up in the mecca of basketball. All right, so it's a great time to play. Early 90s, hard-nosed basketball. You went outside in the park. I lived out playing pickup ball and playing against guys who were older, stronger, better, and you learn from them. So when I'm 11, 12 years old, the first game I played in Rucker Park, I was 13 years old with head coach Tony Rosa in Sugar Hill. I didn't play a ton, but he threw me in there, right? So you learn that toughness and that hard work pays off from a young age.
You know, it's so crazy, man. We was talking about this today. My guys talking about the community coaches and how important they played a pivotal role in our development. And it wasn't the trainer, of course. And you know, our trainer was playing with the older guys, right? That was it, right? Went through the rite of passage. But tell me something about Tony Rosa that was so special about him and him being in the community.
So Tony Rosa had the Mustangs League in Harlem, Little East. And we would go there and we would just play every Saturday, right? Early in the morning. And it didn't matter. He would have, the little kids playing, right? The itty bitties. And I would play against guys older, better, more athletic, hard-nosed, tough dudes. It didn't matter, all right? But he taught the fundamentals, right? So we did that first for about 2 hours, and then we would get on the court and we would play. So that helped me out a ton. So Coach Rosa, throughout my journey, was always there to help, as well as the Gauchos organization. I'm a Gaucho baby. I was playing with Gauchos since I was 8, 9 years old. All right. So just being in that gym, being in that atmosphere where all of the great players in the city, they play for either Gauchos or Riverside. And I was right there. I started out as a ball boy because I wanted to be around the game even more, just watching some of the great players, the Steph Marburys, the Felipes, Charlton Clark, Ernest Brown, Ramel Lloyd, you name it. I know I'm missing everybody. Tim Thomas came through the gym a ton. You name them, they were in that Gauchos program. Bernard Barrows, everybody, Majestic, Dre Barrett, I remember being a young, and I was 11 years old, and I'm playing super biddies at the time. I had a late birthday, so I was playing against guys. And then I'm watching in Round Ball Classic, and Dre is 12, and he's playing 16 and under, and he won as MVP, most outstanding player. They won the championship. Like, he got every award, all tournament team. And I was like, dang, man, how old is that dude? And it was like, he's 12. I said, wow. My brother was like, yeah, he's good, right? I said, I got to be better than him one day. He said, yeah, man, I don't think it's going to happen. And then he will put his clippings on our refrigerator. All right. Whenever Dre did anything in the article, he'll put it on the refrigerator, and it was just added motivation. But yeah, man, I saw some great basketball in those Gaucho gyms.
Yeah, my guy Daniel, we call him Swag God Thanos, who does all of the graphics on my channel on Instagram. He came up and told a similar story. Like his uncle took him to see Dre Barrett. Like, you think you're good? Watch this kid.
Oh man,
Dre, he had everything.
Yeah, he had everything. He was way better than us as a shorty. It wasn't even close. Like, he was the standard. I don't care what anybody say. I know, Omar ended up being good, and Tyler Brown and Mike Boynton, and there's a lot of really good point guard play, especially back then. This young man by the name of Dave Seals, Sickle was really good, but Dre was the standard. So we all watched him and wanted to be better than him.
Oh, that's dope. What up, Jay? What up? What's going on? Appreciate you, brother. Sports head BK. Yo, I remember him versus Cuse. They were trying to get at him.
Yeah, hard stuff. Yeah.
Woo! Appreciate you, brother. Always wish he could have went to St. John's. Everybody say that about dudes who go out of town. They always be like, yo, why do you go to St. John's? At that time, everybody was going to St. John's out in New York City, but you being one of the guys to go to NC State, behind the Lorenzo Charles, the Mo Rivers from Brooklyn, and Ernie Myers, also from Talenttown and things. And people don't realize, man, like Lorenzo Charles went to NC State from Brooklyn Tech.
Yeah, yes.
You would have never known, you know what I'm saying? Some good ball players. Yep. So as a child, man, I know you had your older brother to kind of, help you stay out of trouble. Give people a picture of what Harlem was like growing up as a youngster, especially, living right down from the Rucker and everything that could go on Frederick Douglass Boulevard.
Yeah, so I told you about the basketball side in terms of growing up in the 90s, right? That was the cocaine era.
Yeah.
Harlem, New York City, there were addiction everywhere in the community. You would see the needles all on the floor, on the court. I would have to sweep them away, sweep them to the side. The blue top, red tops, purple top.
Yeah.
Where we from, what that means. So in terms of staying, and then there was dealers everywhere and, recruiting. The younger, the better, right? They were out there recruiting youngsters. So you really had to stay focused. So for me, it was obviously being on the ball court and it's working hard and as well as being a great student. All right. I enjoyed school. Right. But my mom said, hey, if you want to play basketball, you better get good grades. So I got good grades. It was very simple. Right. It was a very easy formula for me. Whatever my mom and my older brother said, I was going to do. I was just going to follow their lead, and it worked out.
Wow. What was some of the things that your brother put into you that, he wanted to make sure, outside of the hard work, right? Mm-hmm. Like that he was the kind of the man in the house, the disciplinarian besides mom, who kind of kept you in check and on the right path?
It's definitely my brother before my dad. My dad was deported when I was young. All right, him and my mom were married. So from that point on, my brother was, hey, you know what? Obviously hard work, but you have to remain disciplined, right? If you want to make your dreams come true, you got to be disciplined. Okay, so it's not only when people are watching you, your behavior, but what are you doing when no one's watching? All right, that shows who you truly are, and then we were built on accountability. Okay, so you basically looking in the mirror for the answer. All right, and respect. He always wanted me to respect our last name, the Hodge last name, our family name, and if I did that, then everything would be fine. And then persevering and fighting through adversity. And it's funny because those are the 4 cornerstones of the program I run now here at Lincoln University. All right. Discipline, accountability, respect, and perseverance.
Yeah, because those things is definitely building blocks, I think, just for life.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. You could definitely do a lot with those 4 pillars. When you was coming up, who was some of the guys besides Dre that you was hearing about and seeing that you was like, damn, I want to do what they doing? Maybe they was a little bit older, right?
They were. So for me, I watched Rice and St. Raymond's basketball, right? I was always watching them. So obviously you got Felipe, you got Gary Saunders, who's Harlem, New York City.
Tough.
All the boys at Rice. And then I look at St. Raymond's, I look at somebody like Dana Dingle, right? To me, he was just the ultimate glue guy. All right, you needed an outside shot. He could hit it, finish with finesse and aggressiveness at the rim. And he was just always had the best personality to this day. Charlton Clark, Kareem, Eric Harris, probably one of my favorite St. Raymond's players of all time. Just the way he defended full court. He was just a straight dog on defense, right? Just relentless. And you may know him. He led that Minnesota Gopher team in I believe '94 to the Final Four with him and Bobby Jackson in the backcourt. But it was a ton of really good players in the city at that time that I looked up to.
No doubt, no doubt. What are you talking about? David Lee, glad he rep. Oh, he said, okay. Sports head BK said, glad he rep for New York City at the McDonald's All-American. Same year, Eddie Curry and them was coming out. Some tough players like Mo Williams, Wagner, Flight White, David Lee, TJ Ford, Aaron Miles. Man, we gonna get to there, man, because I heard about what you were doing in high school, but it became real for me when you started doing it at North Carolina State, right? This way I can watch you, more on television, on ESPN and things of that nature.
Wait, hold up. We can't skip how St. Ray's was beating up on Rice.
No. We
I'm just making sure.
No. That's what I said. Later on, we gonna get to that. Later on, we gonna get to that. First of all, was your eyes always on St. Ray's to go there?
It was St. Ray's or Rice. So what started me was my brother paid for me to go to Gary DeCesa's St. Raymond's basketball camp when I was in about 5th or 6th grade. So that's when I started watching St. Raymond's high school basketball, right? I went there, they're coaching me during the games. Orlando Antigua's brother Omar was my first coach at camp. We won a championship. I was a free throw champion. So from then on, it was like, man, I'm St. Ray's. So then I would go and I would watch the guys. We'll watch their highlights while we were at camp. So that's where it started for me. I think Coach Mo Hicks, head coach at Rice, he saw me a little too late. I was already, entrenched in, the Ravens blue and orange.
Yeah.
In 8th grade, I actually went to the elementary school at St. Raymond's as well. So, just me going to those camps. I remember Coach Scott, who was a freshman coach at St. Raymond's. And it was after my second summer going to St. Raymond's camp. So I just finished 6th grade. And he came up to me and he said, Julius, I want you to play on my freshman team. I want you to start. And I said, freshman, what are you talking about? He's like, my 9th grade team. And I said, Coach, I'm going to 7th grade. He said, wait, what?
Whoa.
He's like, oh, okay, all right. We got to get you in here to St. Raymond's. Like, we got to get you here. So Rice didn't really have it. They didn't have a shot. Plus, at that time, I'm going to be honest now, Rice had, man, the amount of talent. It put some fear in some guys' eyes. Not mine, right? But around the city, if you went to Rice, you was going to sit behind certain dudes. Like guys would go to Mount Carmel first, junior high school, and then they would go to Rice, right? The best of the best there. So it was extremely, challenging and competitive.
So you already had that rivalry built in your head. I'm going to St. Ray's and I'm going to go kick Rice ass. Yeah.
They're the top of the top. It's 100%.
Back then, guys didn't run from the smoke. You didn't join the band. You went and started your own.
Exactly. That's how I ended up at NC State. Duke and UNC recruiting me. I'm like, nah, man, I want to kick y'all butt. Like I'm good where I'm going.
That's tough, man. That's tough. Right out the gate. So as you developing, you playing with the Gauchos. Who was your coach over there?
Oh man, Gauchos. I had some great coaching. Coach Reggie, Coach Dave Jones.
Yes.
Coach Collin.
Yep.
Coach Holford. Oh man, Coach Holford, who was he ended up being an assistant coach at Providence. I mean, he was the first coach. I was like, man, can you do something besides shoot long threes? And at the time, I was just because back then, sometimes guys play selfishly. They want to get shot. And I never worried about that because I said, hey, do what you do when you get the ball. Because when I get the ball, I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do. So it was easy for me to get a shot off. But he said, hey, man, you got to do something different. And I remember Coach Holford talking with my brother, and he said, he's like, Steve, man, you got to talk to Jules. Like, I love him. He plays hard. He said, but all he does is shoot deep threes. Like, we got to get him to do something else. And then I started to, really evolve my game.
Got your driver's license.
There you go. But I needed somebody who coached at the highest level.
Right.
Had that faith in me, besides my older brother. And then I was gone. Please don't let me forget at Gauchos, Coach Russ Smith.
Yes.
That was the first coach to put the ball in my hands and say, hey, you're a point guard. I was 9 years old. I was playing with his nephew, Antonio. We were in the backcourt. We both were super tall and skinny. And we will always win every game until we got to the championship. We'll lose to Riverside. But Coach Russ Smith was the first one to put that ball in my hands. I don't know how I forgot to say him first. But that's my guy to this day. He does great things in the community. I love what he's doing in theater and in acting. He will be great to have on the show. But Coach Russ Smith was that first coach, put that ball in my hand, said, man, you're a point guard. I don't care what you say. Stop crying when we lose, man. You played great. Like, you're going to be all right. So,
right.
For sure.
Yeah, I tell kids that right now, like, you're going to lose a lot more. Trust me. Just don't take it that serious.
Exactly.
Yeah, man. So you get into St. Ray's. How would that transition into St. Ray's? And I guess it was seamless because you went to the elementary school as well, right? Junior high school. On and off the court once you got there as a freshman.
Yeah, so St. Raymond's was a melting pot, right? It was the student population was Black, white, the Dominican, Puerto Rican. It was everything. You had Italians, Irish. It was just a complete melting pot when it comes to cultures and identities. So I went there. For me, it was normal, right? I was already going to school at St. Raymond's Elementary School, right down the block. I was already going to the games, high school games, and just being all the way in the culture. The biggest change was an all-boys school. But it was a private Catholic school. So in terms of the education, it was top-notch, right? Wasn't going to get any better. I remember my freshman year, I was on the golf team, and I was one of the better players. Like, I was really good at golf.
Wow.
And then I just stopped. I just stopped playing cold turkey for like 10 years. But it was, just an opportunity for me to do something that I've never done before. And St. Raymond's definitely opened my eyes to a lot of things that I haven't seen, and it really, broadened my horizons.
How'd that golf swing now, brother?
You know what? Me and my son and my little cousin, we went swinging about, I want to say, a month ago. I was solid. I still hit it really straight, but in terms of the distance, it's off and on.
Got you.
It's off and on. It's hit or miss.
Got you. No doubt. So did you went to the regular rigmarole at the Catholic school, freshman, junior, JV, and then varsity?
Yes. So I played freshman, came off the bench, right? At the time, there were guys who were better than me. We had a point guard, Quan Pickney. He's a better player than me at the time. Chris McCray, who ended up going to Hofstra University, having a good career, was better than me. There's a bunch of guys, a couple guys from Mount Carmel. They were better players than me. I always used to watch one player, Anthony Epps. He went to St. Helena's, and we played against him maybe 20 times in 8th grade when I was at St. Raymond's. And out of those 20 games, he probably scored 40 points on me maybe 19 times. It was nothing I could do. I could not stop him. He's taller, stronger, more skilled at the time. And he was a barometer for me. I said, so I have to continue working hard. So by the time I got to high school at 9th grade, I was like, we kind of the same. I was like, he's just a lot better than me. We're kind of the same now. And then we finished that year. We was undefeated until we got to the playoffs, lost in the first round to Xaverian. We finished that season with 27-1. Then I played junior varsity, but before that, I tried out for varsity. And everybody was saying, hey, you're wasting your time while you're trying out. I said, I work on my game all summer. I've been playing against older guys because in the summer, I wouldn't play my age.
Got you.
I would maybe play one tournament my age with the Ravens, and then I will play unlimited the rest of the summer. So it's very similar to what I'm doing with my son now. Like, hey, you can play maybe one tournament your age. Everything else you are playing up.
Play up, baby.
Yeah,
Yes.
like I don't do the reclass thing. I don't care if somebody's 29 when you get to your freshman year in college. You're going to be better because of the work, right? But I went in there as a sophomore in St. Raymond's varsity, and I got cut. I was the last cut, me and a young man, Anthony Epps. And then we went on JV. And when I went on JV, I averaged over 30-something points in half the season. And one game we were playing, I believe it's right before, it might have been right before Christmas or after. We were playing LaSalle, I believe. And I had about 30-something at halftime. And then I finished the game, only scored maybe 5 more points, but we won by a ton. And Coach DeCesar came to me and said, hey, man, what's happening? Like, it seemed like it's too easy for you out there. You kind of slowed up. I said, Coach, I'm going to be honest with you. I said, I'm bored. Like, there's no competition. He said, well, if you play. And so my brother, me and my brother and my guy from Rockefeller used to give us all the gear, Radu Watson. We had a meeting with Coach. And I told him, I was like, hey, man, I'm bored. It's like, I'm way better than these guys. I'm not getting better in practice nor the games. And he said, all right, well, if you play varsity, you know you're not going to play a lot. You know, I have McDonald's All-American. We had 9 seniors at the time, and he was straight up. He said, you know, guys got to get scholarships. You're not going to play a ton. I said, well, can I practice every day? And he said, yeah. I said, well, can I get the gear? He said, yeah. I said, I want to play. I was like, I'm good, man. I said, I can guard Majestic. He's a McDonald's All-American. He's going to Virginia. Like, I want to do that. So that's when I finally got moved up. And it's crazy because nowadays parents would not take it. They would transfer in a heartbeat. They have their kids transfer in a heartbeat. But I only played 33 minutes as a sophomore on varsity. That's it. 14 of them came against Kennedy in a game where 7 of our seniors were suspended because they stayed out past curfew. And I scored 14 points, and I was in the Daily News and the New York Post on the front page. Not the front page of the sports section.
Yes.
And those were 14 of the only 33 minutes played for the entire year. So it was a lot of bench splinters, but I got to play against Majestic every day. And, you know, I was blessed enough to win some of those matchups some days. Most of the times he got the best of me, but I got better that year.
I'm so glad you mentioned that because, you know, I tell these kids all the time, you know, you want to be on varsity, but you don't know what it takes to be on varsity, right? Mm-hmm. No one wants to go to high school and, you know, play freshman and JV ball no more. They think the Catholic school is sweet, you know, Catholic mm-hmm. league is sweet. And I tell them, mm-hmm. yo, the stuff you was getting away with in junior high school, middle school is not going to work in high school. Those 3 and 4 dribbles, that's going to turn to 1 and 2. Mm-hmm. And the decision making, mm-hmm. the speed, the body, all those things, the high level thinking, all those things come into play, and they realize it, you know, once they see me and I'm walking past the bench and they doing a lot of this. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I told you.
And then they start blaming the coach. Well, coach,
it's everybody else's fault except theirs.
Coach don't like me. What are you talking about? Coach want to win. That's what I tell my kids. When my daughter's at Hofstra, she's sitting the bench first year, last year until they made their run. Coach finally started playing her. She's a sophomore big. She's 6'3" center. And she was sitting, and I called coach, and I said, Coach, I promise you, if you give her opportunity, she'll make the best of it. If she doesn't, sit her. Like, I'm with you 100%. She got opportunity, and she got better and better, and then she just finished the summer, and they're saying she's the best player, right? Hard work.
Oh, that's awesome. That's right.
But I tell my kids all the time, coaches want to win. It's not personal. They don't dislike you. It is never personal. They want to win, so they're going to put on the court the players who they feel are the best players. And you know where that time is determined? It's not during the game. It's every day in practice. Every single day is an opportunity to get on that court. And if you do it, great job. If you don't, that's on you.
Oh, man. Salute to my guy, Ayatollah Beast, the #1 basketball head in the whole universe. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the jewels. Thank you. Always appreciate you, brother. No doubt. Salute Julius Hodge, represent NYC. No doubt. Man, I'm so glad you tapped into that, man, because, you know, I tell kids all the time these same messages, man. You know, we have a 13U that's doing very well. We won the 13U Adidas Nationals on the Adidas circuit. Nice. We just won Gersh. We won another tournament down in North Carolina. We just won IS8, and we'll see if we win Hoop Connection today. I don't know, because I was prepping for the show. So far, these guys have accumulated a lot of championships just from the spring to the summertime, and they're looking forward. A lot of schools are after them, and I'm letting them know it's okay if you play JV, bro. Mm-hmm. I know what these coaches are promising you.
Yep.
That's what coaches do. It's a business.
Yep.
They want to win.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It's
about development. You got to develop, and you can't skip steps. So you playing and maybe playing your age and getting that confidence, and then moving up, and then not playing. That adversity, you either going to sink or you're going to swim. There's nothing else that's going to happen. I've seen plenty sink.
Yes.
I've seen some great ones swim. If you're going to swim now, you're going to make your dreams come true. But you cannot skip steps. Parents, you cannot. You're making these players, and we're New York City. We're the Mecca. Right?
Yep.
We're the hard nose. We're those guys. You're changing the way we're perceived across the country, right? Because you're making it easier for players, for your kids. Stop it. Stop it. Coaches, be real with these players. They're going to transfer. They're going to transfer anyway. Okay, that can't stop you from telling the truth and helping these young people.
What do you feel about kids leaving New York? Because right now there's I won't say a mass exodus. I think once kids, feel like they've reached a certain level, it's like, I got to go play against, better competition. And I just tell kids, you're going to play against better competition. It's coming. Trust me. It's coming. Mm-hmm. Develop your superpowers. Develop those things that you need to work on, because you can go to a super team and don't get to work on those superpowers. You become a role player, right? And now you dead your superpowers, what you had here in New York City, being a guy. A lot of these guys, they go, not all, but most, they go from being starters and the guy to going out and coming off the bench and being role players.
That's right. That's right. I mean, if guys want to leave and they feel like there's a great opportunity elsewhere, I mean, do your thing, whatever, right? New York City basketball, right, in terms of the level of competition, it isn't where it once was.
That's true.
Right. So I can understand that. But if you're running because you're ducking smoke, because you're on a really good team and you want to leave, like, no, that's the coach you want to play for. That's the team you want to stick with. Right. Who's a really good team right now? Obviously, I'm always going to have the blue and orange flag for St. Raymond's. But let's say like Stepanek.
Yes.
Right? Stepanek right now is a powerhouse.
Yep. 3 McDonald All-Americans last year. Played the national schedule, and all the kids stayed.
Oh, man, Coach been doing a magnificent job. I got a story with him. One of my best friend, my brother now, Coach Dante Croft.
Yeah.
He had a team where he had 8th grade. He was coaching Billy Richmond, Dylan Harper, Boogie, Nas Simmons. I mean, in terms of young talent and guys who grew up to be who they are, he had them. And me and Coach Masseroni were the only 2 people in the gym. Me, him, and Dylan's mom watching. And it was the first time I saw Dylan, and my guy's coaching him hard. And he's like, man, you got to do this, do that. And, I'm just in a crowd being a troll. And I was like, hey, man, let Harper do his thing. You don't have to coach him.
Right.
He's screaming at me. He's like pissed off. But, it's being able to see that type of talent. But I saw a coach in the stands, and Coach was already there and building that relationship and recruiting. And he ended up getting Boogie. And we see, Boogie, Arkansas, Florida, and you see the type of contracts and the type of career that he's having. Right, he's playing the highest level of college hoops.
That's right.
So I think if there is adversity where you are, stay there and make it work. Guys want to run away or go somewhere where it's easier or where your coach isn't on you. I promise you, if your coach is on you, that means he loves you. He cares for you. He wants what's best for you. If he's not, that's when you have to look in the mirror and go, whoa, all right, what aren't I doing? Right? But I'm a coach, right? Hey, I'm biased anyway. So
no, but you also been there as well.
Yep.
And you had one of those coaches.
Mm-hmm.
Had a few of those coaches. What was that time that you played when those guys got suspended and having that 14 points? Was that like your coming out party?
100%. You couldn't tell me nothing. I knew I was the best player on St. Raymond's varsity team at that moment. I was the best player in the city. I just wasn't playing. All right. Then we played Rice a couple games later, and that's when Rice had Dre at the 1 and Kenny Sat in the back. Oh my God! Like, it's nothing you can do. Nothing you can do. And Kenny's killing us, right? And him and Majestic was really close, and he's like talking to Majestic, having good natured, trash talk, and And I was at the end of the bench, and I just had enough. And I was like, Coach, put me in. I'll lock his ass up. And everybody looked at me like, huh? And Kenny was like, yo, who that? He serious? But I like him, though. He got some heart. Coach A put me in, and Kenny kept killing us. But, oh, man, those were the times, though. Those were the times.
Wow. So your junior year, right? Let's fast forward to like your junior year, right? Because you got some taste of what it's like to, you know, to be on the bench, to be supportive, to work on your game. The summer of your going into your junior year, what was the thing that you did for yourself to propel you to become like the main guy?
So that was the summer Francisco Garcia had first came over from DR. I'm not going to tell you his age at the time, but we were in the same grade, all right? And we were playing with Coach Gerald, who was the head coach at Millbank. We were playing unlimited. And I spent that entire summer getting my butt kicked by Adrian Walton, A. Butter, and Courtney Fields, right? It was just like a 6'9" guard at the time. And those guys were older than me, right? It is what it is. But I was 15 years old, about to go into my junior year in high school. And I'm playing unlimited. I'm playing up. I want all of the smoke, right? As they would say nowadays. And I got better that summer. I got better and better and better. And then I was still playing with Gauchos, and we're going out the country. Excuse me, not out the country, out the state. Going to Vegas, North Carolina, playing 18 and under. And I'm playing with Royale Ivy. So every day in practice, we're sparring every day. He's guarding me, I'm guarding him. You know, that's that steel sharpening steel, right? So by the end of the summer, that Gaucho scene, we played in a 5-star tournament, and we made it all the way to the championship. The semifinals was Eddie Griffin, rest in peace. Eddie Griffin was a great player from Jersey, versus Darius Miles, number 1 and number 2, going head to head, right? Darius Miles, they both got off, but Darius Miles edged the matchup. He's number 1 in the country. Now they're in the championship. We meet them in the championship, my Gauchos team, right? Tom Kachowski, if he was here, rest in peace. He said he would always tell my brother that was truly my coming out party. So in the first half, I had 0 points, right? Darius Miles had 14. I was not guarding him, all right? In the second half, I said, Coach, let me guard him. We're going to win. I can stop him. Darius Miles have 0 points. I score 14. Right? We end up winning.
Love that right there.
We end up winning a close matchup against those guys. I believe it was the Illinois Warriors team, the AAU team. But they had a guy about 6'3", strong, diesel, bald head, couldn't shoot for nothing. The most athletic, strongest dude on the team, kept driving, finishing. All right. It was like they were calling him Dwayne. He had about 20 points on us. Come to find out that was Dwayne Wade.
Wow.
Could not stop him. Nothing we could do. He's killing us. But we win the tournament. I was awarded MVP. Tim Thomas was there. That's when the first time I met Tim Thomas. Well, the first time he noticed me. Right. But it was a great time. And just from that game, that's how your confidence grow. Play against other great players in the nation, and you show that, hey, you know what? I kind of belong here.
Yep.
And then it proves all of the hard work. Let's keep doing this because this is working.
Man, that is crazy. That is crazy indeed. I'm looking at this. Hold on. Do you remember this article says the real St. Ray's finally stands up. It says St. Ray's guard Julius Hodge shoots over Archbishop Malloy, Wendell Bryant. Hodge struggled from the floor, 3 of 16, scored 16 points, grabbed 10 rebounds as the Raven rolled to a 78-65 win over William Stansbury, right? I guess he played for Malloy, right? This was the time when, you know, you guys really started to make a name for yourself, and the paper started acknowledging those things and your accolades and what was going on. What was that, Catholic school like back then? And who were your rivals? Was it Rice? Was it it wasn't any other? It wasn't Cardinal Hayes. Like, kind of break that down for us.
Whoever, to me, the rival was whoever was getting the notoriety in the paper. Whoever nationally was
Rice. Rice, yes.
It was Rice. Those guys were Dre Barrett, Andre Sweet, Cal Cuff, Jason Wingate was a year younger, but really good player. Kiki.
Right.
I mean, those guys, Jason Osborne, those guys were stacked, right? And then you look at Christ the King. They had Omar Cook and Zach Williams. Like that 1-2 punch was ridiculous. And obviously Talik Brown at St. John's Prep.
Yeah.
You look at Bishop Lachlan. They had Mike Boynton, Terrence Watkins. Like, guys were really good at that. The LaSalle. They had Famous Brown, Lenny Cook, Eric, Danny Ortez, or Hollows, Marv McCullough, who I grew up playing with at Gauchos. He's a year younger. Ricky Saliva. I mean, the talent was so vast in every team. All right, there were no easy games. And then at St. Raymond's, we were playing a national schedule. So when we weren't home, we were out on the road and we were playing. We played Camden when Wagner, and they were number 1 in the country. We played in the tournament, City of Palms. Played against Kwame Brown. Played against David Harrison's team. In the summer, we was playing everybody. It was crazy. So for us, it wasn't just a one team that was a rival. My junior year, we were the unknowns. So we were just going everywhere and we were winning. We didn't lose in the city, that entire year until we got after we won the city championship. We ended up losing after that. But we were definitely going to work.
Yeah. We all care about the city championships more than we do the state championship anyway. So it is what it is. It is what it is. So, bro, March 2000, you scored 21 of your 27 points in the second half in a 61-56 victory over Rice in the Archdiocese City Championship game.
Mm-hmm.
What was that feeling like, knowing that you was on fire? And who did it? Who pissed you off?
You know what? I went into that city and I was young, so I had a white T-shirt. We had our white jerseys, and I used an orange marker. I didn't realize after the game I'm sweating, nobody would be able to read it. But I had on the left side of my T-shirt. Every time I would score, I would open up, and I had number 1 in the city. So it wasn't that somebody got me pissed, right? It was because Dre was too good. He was so good. And I said, you know what? I want the throne, right? That was just my mindset. Whether it would happen or not, that was how I was thinking. That's how Peter was thinking, right? He's an underdog. Before the season, he ended up committing to UMBC early. And then midway through the year, he had Syracuse, Seton Hall, Pittsburgh, all of the Big East wanted to snatch him away. UMBC was smart. They wouldn't let him go.
Right.
But Darnell Miller, my point guard, who ended up going to George Washington before the season, he didn't have anything, right? He ended up making this decision late. Averaged 9 assists, right? 9 points, 9 assists. He's the general for us, okay? Matt Augustin, who ended up going to St. Francis, we call him Matlock. He locked up everybody we played against. Dre Barrett, respectfully, he locked him up. Omar Cook locked him down. Omar couldn't do anything. Omar came into the game like, man, I'm not scared of you. Like, Jules, I'm not scared of you. I was like, me, you need to be scared of him. This guy's like, I ain't guarding you. I ain't dealing with that, right? Matt was the guy. He's really the catalyst why we beat Rice those 4 times. We had Chris McCray, who ended up going to Hofstra University, who was averaging, 13, 14 points, 8, 9 rebounds, was our big down low. We had Alan Ray, right? Alan Ray, who ended up going to Villanova.
Yeah.
And having a good, being drafted and then having a good professional career. Al was a young boy, but me and him, we would meet at Yankee Stadium because he lived over there right at Yankee Stadium. I'll just walk across the Bronx. And his dad will say, hey, you want to work out? I'm like, of course. and we'll go to the double rims in Yankee Stadium. We'll work out for 2 hours after practice, after getting to school early and working out. And we would just go until we were tired. And then afterwards, his dad would be like, let's play one-on-one. Do y'all want to play one-on-one? And I'll look at A. Ray, and A was like, he really ain't want to play. I'm about 6'6", and I'm going to shoot over him. And when they get there, I'm just going to post you up and win, bro. I'm not losing the game.
Right.
So again, that's that steel sharpening steel. So when it came to us playing against anyone in the city, to us, they were fooled, respectfully.
Yeah, they said sometimes the practice is harder than the games. So you
Absolutely.
guys working on everything, and you know, and plus now your confidence is super high. It's like, you know, when you manifest that being number one in the city, and then it, you know, it coming true. That senior year, your mind state, you was focused, you was locked in, and you was ready to take over New York. How was that?
For sure, and I still had some fuel left, right, for the fire, because Ben Gordon went and they won the state title, right, in high school, my junior year, and I wanted to play against him. We just didn't never played against each other, all right, until a scrimmage game my senior year, before my senior year, and we played against him, and he was solid. Like, Ben was nice, right. And we were playing at home, and I believe I won the better of that matchup, right? But going into my senior year, we just had the target on our backs. So everybody was giving us their best shot. So early on, we were losing some games that typically we would win. So once again, it was quick for everybody to be like, St. Raymond's isn't that good. They lost 4 Division I players. They're not going to be the same good team. Hodge can't do it. Right. So as that's happening, it's just, you know, we're getting more and more, you know, all right, let's do this. Let's start competing now. And we had team meetings, and I'm like, guys, you got to step up. You got to do your job. You got to do your job. And guys was like, no, just, you know, Al, I remember one time he said, you know, no disrespect, Jules, but Ricky was busting your A too.
Woo.
And I said, you know what? I could take that. That shit ain't going to happen again. All right. And then we got focused. And then, you know, once we got to the city playoffs, you know, we played our way all the way through. And then now we're playing against Malloy in the championship, in the city championship, my senior year.
Yep.
And I believe that game was double overtime. I know it went to OT.
Hold on, because I have it right here. Hold up. I was just looking at it. It says, was that in 2000? Hold on. Here we go.
Yep, 2001.
Yep.
And I know that game went into overtime.
Yep.
And coach drew up a play for Allen at the end of regulation. And Allen was hot.
They mentioned it. They'll say the season had to end this way for St. Raymond's amid losses and inconsistencies and doubts. So you definitely talked about that. And look, for you being a free throw king, you know, to put the ball in your hand with 40 seconds left in double overtime.
Absolutely. And we could have won in regulation. We could have won after the first overtime. Coach drew up plays for Allen. Allen was hot. I got the ball. I just wasn't passing nobody. I dribbled the ball at half court. I say, Coach, this ain't going to nobody else, bro. I'm sorry. And I missed. And guys was looking at me. I remember Dayon Merritt, our point guard. He's looking at me like, yo, really, Jules? And I'm like, I start smiling. I said, yo, my fault. I'm going to lock in. My bad. We're going to win the game. Don't worry. But I was like, hey, this is my moment. I'm going to make it happen. But then eventually I was like, hey, man, Allen is hot. Let's go through the hot hand. All right. And he ended up winning MVP. And then, you know, that was when everybody started to really recognize him. But the work he was already putting in, it was put in, it was laid, right? That foundation. So no, we had a really good team. Let me give a shout out to my guy, Anwar Baptiste, Buddha. You was on that team too, man. All right. So you started a lot of games for us. So I had to say that.
That's dope. Look, that was a test for you being the guy, right? Because you could have let your ego rule and put your team in a bad situation and lose the game, right? You got to refocus and say, you know what? Let me go where we need to go.
Absolutely.
Right. And I think sometimes when you're the guy, you got to make those decisions. And that still make you a great player because you made the right decision.
That's right. That's right. Hey,
you know,
everybody can eat. Everybody eats. You could definitely share that pie.
So you became McDonald's All-American, Parade All-American. You became Mr. Basketball, Daily News, New York Post Player of the Year. All these accolades coming through. What was the difficult part about your recruitment, and who were your final 3 schools that you had to pick before you decided to go to NC State?
So my list came down to the 5 schools initially. Was NC State, UNC, Syracuse, which was my childhood dream school. I grew up a huge Syracuse fan, watching the Jason Harden, Eton Thomas teams.
Yes, sir.
Alan Griffin, Lawrence Moulton. Before that, that was my team. University of Florida, because they had just went on a run to the championship with Udonis Haslam, Mike Miller, Brett Nelson, and those guys. And Maryland, University of Maryland. I just always liked Gary Williams coach teams. Thought those
awesome
guys,
coach, yes.
Yeah, really good coach, super disciplined. The guys won, they played the right way. So that was my 5 initially. Going into my senior year, Bill Guthridge retired because he was writing me like a ton of letters. Even though Coach DeCesar, he would hold the letters and not let us see it until after our junior year.
Every guy comes in here talk about their coach did that. They always talk about.
They always did it. They was in complete control of the recruitment until that moment. Once you see who really wants you. So going back to that summer before my senior year, Matt Doherty then got the job when Bill Guthridge retired, and he called me and he said, "Hey, I'm recruiting you and Jackie Manuel." I've been recruiting Jackie, and he was coming from Notre Dame. He said, but everyone's telling me I should be recruiting you first. So you have the first right to the scholarship. You going to take it now or not? I said, no, I'm not making a decision.
Yeah, like, come on, fam. Who does that? You definitely going to lose a player if you put him in that situation.
Yeah, I was like, what are you talking about, bro? Top 5 in the country. I'll go wherever I want. I said, no, I'm not. And I told him straight up, I said, I'm not going to play for you. I was like, you don't have to worry about that. Give the scholarship to Jackie Manuel. Now, he was recruiting him anyway. It ain't like I was doing him a favor.
Right.
I said, yeah, I'm not going to do that. That's not going to happen. So 2 weeks later, and then I didn't say anything, right? Back then, it wasn't no social media, no IG or socials at all, Twitter. So I just told my family, told my brother, my high school coach, AAU coach, Artie Green, with New York Ravens. It is what it is. And then 2 weeks later, it comes out that North Carolina told me no and gave the scholarship to Jackie Manuel. I was like, wait, what?
Come on, UNC.
And it was an article by Dave Tellup. Dave Tellup is now in the front office of the San Antonio Spurs, somebody I definitely respect in the business. But it came out, and obviously that was UNC spinning the narrative. But I was like, I don't really like that. So whenever I play, I'm going to see you guys.
I got to see you anyway, yes.
I'm going to see you.
Man, and you get on campus, of course, it's not like the day they recruited you because they got all the bells and whistles when you take the visit. What was your transition now to the next level of, big time basketball, Power 5 basketball? Like, what was that situation like, and how easy was the transition or how difficult? Like, let's talk about the transition. And I like to talk about this because kids need to understand on every level you got to start over, no matter what level.
That's right.
Right? And there's always the transition period. How was that for you?
Yes. So that transition period, I got to be honest with you. When I got to campus, I was still a man. I was a man everywhere I walked around. I was like, hey, Jules, big Jules, we love you. Taking pictures. Everybody wanted to talk to me. I was the man. I'm sorry.
Nice. It's all good. Yeah.
I would love to say that I love it, but no, just I think what really hit me first was you highly acclaimed top 5 in your class out of high school. I was on a Rosie O'Donnell show and this and that, all the bells and whistles, doing modeling and magazines, blah, blah, blah. And then you get to college and you're like, all right, I'm going to be the man. And then you get to that first practice. And we had, may rest in peace, Anthony Grundy is my senior guard, 5th year. And he was killing me. Like, he was killing me. Like, his game, and anybody who remember him,
right,
so unorthodox. But he could get to a bucket. And then we had another guard, Cliff Crawford, and he didn't even play a lot initially. And he was just like strong 6'3" guard from Winston-Salem, tough as hell, tatted. And I'm like, damn, this dude is like, he got pinched before? He's in a joint or something? What are we doing right here?
Grown men strength.
Grown men. So to me, initially, that was the number one shock. And then I saw like guys like Archie Miller, who's now the head coach of Rhode Island, who was my point guard my freshman year, where if he was open 2 times, he was making one of those threes 100% of the time. One of those threes was going to go in. I mean, you talk about a great shooter, just knockdown. So, and then I came in with a big freshman class. It was 5 of us. So, every day we're competing and we're fighting to let coach know, hey, we're good players. Coming into NC State, when I was on my visit, we had Damian Wilkins at the time. And before he ended up transferring to Georgia. And so I thought I'll be playing initially behind him coming in. I mean, he was McDonald's a year before. He was a really good player. And then he ended up transferring. So I'm like, oh, okay, all right. I wanted to play with Damian Wilkes. He showed me around on my visit. Great player, but, it is what it is. But then a year ahead of me was Scooter Sherrill, who was a McDonald's All-American from North Carolina. A 6'3", 2 guard. Another guy, if he's open, the ball is going in, right? Then we had 6'10" Marcus Melvin, who can forward, who can shoot. Like the way he played back then is perfect for the way the NBA is now. Pick and pop, knock it down, because straight line drive, was athletic, can guard 1 through 5. So we had a lot of talented players. And within my class, Ilian Aftermath was a 6'5", played the 5 for us. Strong European, but could really shoot. We had Josh Powell out of Georgia who ended up winning 2 rings with the Lakers, and playing in the league for almost 10 years. So we had a lot of talent, but it was definitely a change in terms of the level of competition. But I was prepared because I always played up. So to me, it wasn't that big of a shock.
Well, your first home game is packed. Crazy. Nerves running a little bit, right?
Mm-hmm.
What did you notice about yourself that would propel you to be, player of the year? Like, did you notice something about yourself in your game your freshman year that was going to lead you to that point?
I knew I always had the hunger to get better. Even till
it showed in your stats too. It showed your stats. Each year you got better and better. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And in the ACC at that time, I mean, it wasn't the ACC of today where it's 22 teams.
Right.
22 teams. It was the ACC. It was only 9 teams, right? Duke or UNC was always going to be number 1 and number 2 and number 3 in the country. All right, that's going to happen. At the time, Virginia was number 9 in the country as well. Florida State always had really good teams that was around top 20, top 25 in the country. Anthony Richardson, who was my assistant coach, was my same year out of high school. We were actually roommates at McDonald's All-American games. They always have really good teams, right? You just go, Clemson always have really good teams. Wake Forest, right? Josh Howard was the man, and Darius Sungala. It was draft picks everywhere. UNC and Rashad McCants, Ray Felton, Sean May, Gerard Williams, Marvin Williams, Sean Terry, and all these guys played in the NBA. Jackie Man, all these guys.
Right.
NBA guys. I'm not just saying names, right? And then you look at Maryland. They had Juan Dixon, Steve Blake, Chris Wilcox. Oh, my gosh. In today's NBA, you let him pick and roll like Slim before they try to beef him up back in the day when he got to the league. Like Slim, strong, lean muscle, screen, roll, throw it anywhere near the backboard, and he's like that all over the rim. Lonnie Baxter. So you look at the teams back then in the ACC, 8 of the 9 teams are ranked in the top 25. Like, this is real basketball. So going up against that, you know, I had times where I had great games, right? We played at Virginia, who was top 10 in the country, and I hit 5 threes, had 21 points, and I'm doing a Harlem Shake after I get an and one right on a break. And then we had games where we played Duke at home. You know, the first time we played them, and I couldn't score a basket. I had 0 points. So 0 for 8 ball is like it was a lid around the rim. So you definitely, you know, had your high moments, low moments, but as long as you stay even keeled mentally and you put the work in, there's going to be more pluses than minuses.
Yeah, it was just like the Catholic school with grown-ass men. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
the league, because everybody was, you had to be prepared every night.
Absolutely.
You had to prepare every night.
Absolutely.
So as, you know, you're making your transition from, you know, all the levels that you was at, freshman year, 10 points. Then sophomore year, you make a mean jump to 17 points a game.
Mm-hmm.
Like, again, the hard work, the persevering, and then your junior year, you jump to 18, and it's ACC Player of the Year. Mm-hmm. What is going through your mind at this time, knowing that you are the best player in the ACC, one of the top conferences in college basketball history?
Mm-hmm. So my junior year, I made a huge jump. And again, they always say that summer between your freshman and your sophomore year, that's when you make the biggest jump as a player. So obviously that summer, all I did was I worked out twice a day. I stayed on campus. I didn't even come back to New York City. I said, forget that, man. I have to reach my goals. All right. What I do is I like to put the blinders on, the horse blinders, and I am focused on my goal. That's just the way I think. That takes me back to a story. My senior prom, we were on a cruise, and my prom date, she got sick, right? She got motion sickness. So afterwards, everybody say, hey, we're going to go to this restaurant. Then everybody going to get hotel rooms. And you know what happened prom night.
Right.
I told her afterwards, and my guys were like killing me for this to this day. I said, she said, all right, so we're going to get something to eat, right? For one, I don't got money like that, right? I know McDonald's, but I don't got money like that.
Right. No NILs back then.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, what are we doing? But she's like, all right, we get something to eat, and then we're going to get a hotel room. And I said, don't kill me, but I didn't work on my game today. I have to go work on my game. And she said, are you serious? And like, you know, pretty young lady. And she got pissed. So my guy, Radu Watson, one of my brother's best friends to this day, he drove me down in his Escalade, and he's like listening to our conversation, right? And we in the back seat. And I was like, I'm sorry, but I have to go work on my game. I'm sorry, I didn't work on my game. This is not like me. I have to go do it now. Now, was I nervous? I don't think I was, right? You always like to say, hey, I'm a confident dude. But that determination, right? Most guys want to do that. Right, man, I work on my game in the morning.
Not at all. Right? Yes, that's a fact. That's a fact. I've been in the hotel room. Sorry.
100%. Right? But the thing is, with a lot of guys, they don't realize that the sacrifices,
yes.
Right? And to a grown-up, that's an easy sacrifice. Hey, I want to make my dreams come true. But to a young person, right? I played video games way too much when I was 13 years old. I sucked in 7th grade. I don't care what nobody said. I don't care what my older brother say. In 7th grade, I was a bad ball player. Right? I was playing with Gauchos. He was playing against Riverside. Durham Player, the ball was in the corner. One of his guys had the ball. He said, drive it straight at him. He's going to foul you. I fouled the dude. And I sat back and I said, I suck. Like I said, so I stopped playing video games for 5 straight years. Who does that at 13? So in terms of the discipline, that's what you got to have. So when I was able to make that big of a jump as a player from freshman to sophomore year, and then again from sophomore to junior year, in my mind, I always knew I would be the best player because of the work put in and the discipline that it took.
Got to sacrifice something to be great.
Mm-hmm.
You know, That is crazy, man. So you going to your junior year. When did you know you were the best player in the league?
Well, when guys were afraid to play against me.
How did you know? What were you hearing it? Were you hearing the rumbles?
So I had a good buddy on UNC, and he told me, you know, and I won't say his name, Joel Williams, but he told me one of his teammates, Rashad McCants, right? Rashad is on every podcast saying, "Man,
Rashad,
exactly, like McCant Reed." He's on every podcast now to this day saying, "I wasn't afraid of Julius Hodge. I wasn't ducking him." Right?
I've heard him say that. Yes,
that's how I live rent free in his head. But he told me, he's like, "Hey man, this dude does not want to guard you." And Jackie was like, "Man," I'm like, "Jackie, why they always put you on me, man? I'll be cooking you." And just laughing with him because that's my guy to this day. Jackie's my guy. I saw him a couple of weeks ago recruiting, and he said, "I'm gonna be real with you. This dude does not want to guard you. He's afraid of you." So I knew that going into my junior year. If I just keep putting in the work, I'm gonna get better. My sophomore year, I was going head to head with Josh Howard, who won
17 points a game. It's crazy.
And he won Player of the Year, and then a conference tournament, ACC conference tournament, semis. You know, we beat them. You know, he had 20 something. I had almost 35 points. Right, it's another coming out party. So going into the next year, man, I'm like, you can't tell me anything, right? I know I'm gonna be able to do, you know, what I need to do to make us successful here at NC State.
What was that connection you had with Wolfpack Nation? Because it just seemed like you and the crowd was one, right? Mm-hmm. They cheered and pushed you through their loyalty, and you gave that energy right back to them, which, you know, I used to say in the game, like, yo, this guy's having a lot of fun out there.
Yeah, absolutely. I always wanted basketball to be fun, and their fans weren't quite used to that. And I brought that New York City flair.
Definitely.
And it worked hand in hand. To this day, I could walk on campus and somebody's like, "Hey, you look familiar. Are you Julius Hodge?" I'm like, "Yeah, I know. I'm getting older now, but yeah, that's me. That's me." But I love that place. It's like a home away from home.
Yeah, man. So, and you know, you winding up your time there at NC State. You're breaking a hell of a lot of records. You shaking up every time you're on television. You're definitely Dickie V's type one, you know, definitely Diaper Dandies, and then you turn into Player of the Year. All these accolades, which is awesome coming from New York City, because you know we rarely see that. From Mo Rivers to Lorenzo Charles. To Ernie Myers, you're definitely the most decorated out of that bunch to come out of that school. When did you start thinking about the NBA and pro basketball? Was that on your mind? And why did you leave? Because I know a lot of people wanted you to leave after that junior year.
Good question. My college coach. So my college coach spoke with the NBA scouts. And they said if I stayed one more year and for my senior year and I graduated, that I would be a lottery pick. So what's up, Lego? Okay. So now we know nowadays, right, that that's not quite how it works. If you're good enough, you're going to be a lottery pick. If
that's
not,
a fact.
Right. But for Coach wanted to continue winning, and I understand, right? I wasn't a lock for a first rounder.
Even after winning Player of the Year in the conference?
Yes, I was not a lock. They were, once I got into the NBA draft workouts, I immediately dominated my senior year. It was, but you know how nowadays guys are able to put their name into a certain time frame and able to get workouts in, and then be able to see if their draft stock rises, falls. We didn't have that luxury back then, right? And it was at 2004. So it's like, hey, if you put your name in, that's it. You're done. You got to go, right? If they would have gave that option, then I probably would have did it. But to be honest, I was having so much fun in college hoops, right? I loved everything about it. I wanted to get my degree right away. The summer after deciding to stay. That same summer, I met my future wife. So everything worked out for me. Well, absolutely, for sure.
Nah, that's dope. Yo, my guy Swagger Thanos is on here. He was like, yo, Pooh, let him know we got the art piece up there. So I'm quite sure you saw it.
Oh, yeah. Tell him I got him.
Yeah. Take a lot of pride.
Thank you.
And that. Yes, for sure. So it all worked out, which is dope.
Absolutely.
A little bit off topic. I'm looking behind you and I'm seeing this awesome piece of art. I'm an art lover.
Yeah, this is Sydney Kane piece.
Wow.
Art, yeah. So I collect a little bit, but yeah, this is
that's dope, bro.
Yeah. I picked up the hobby when I was with Coach Dal Walker, head coach of Little Rock.
Yep.
You talk about art, man. This dude has about $10 to $15 million in his house. Man, he's like a collector, right? And I went to a couple of shows with him, and I picked up some pieces. So, I like to collect a little bit myself.
No doubt. Salute to Dal Walker, one of my favorite players because, defensive guy, glue guy.
He was a dog. He was a dog. Lock you down.
Yeah, definitely pattern some of my game on the defense and behind him for sure. What was the first thing you noticed between college and the NBA, the different levels? Better
players. There's better players. Way better players.
Everybody.
Every single person on the team is a very good player. Was a great college player. Was a great high school player. Doesn't matter. Everybody. And then guys put in extra work. Like, I don't think Carmelo Anthony, Melo doesn't get the reputation of like one of the hardest workers. Well, I seen him. I seen him before every game, 45 minutes before every game. He's with Coach Gergerich working on his jab right into his mid-range at the elbow. Every day. And he'll do it for about 30 minutes. I mean, guys put in so much work and they're already such good players. It's just you have to really like raise your game even more. So the amount of respect I have for professional players it just went through the roof when I was able to see the amount of work guys put in.
You sitting there with your family and you hear your name get called. The 20th pick, the Denver Nuggets selects Julius Hodge out of North Carolina State University. What was that moment like for you and your family?
It was a great moment. We were actually at the Garden. I knew I wasn't going to be a lottery pick, but I was in the crowd and I knew I would be somewhere in the first round after the lottery. And it was a surreal moment. I was prepared for it. When it happened, you're like, wow, you're going through the motions. Like, this is nothing. I knew this would happen. I'm prepared. It's not until, some time after you're like, wow, it really happened. A dream I had when I was 6-7 years old actually came true, right? I'm a seventh grader. I'm telling my math teacher that I'm going to be an NBA player. He's like, Julius, what? What are the chances of that happening? No way. That's not going to happen. And it's still making it happen. So that was awesome.
Listen, bro, I always, look at you guys who made it to the league. I don't care if it's for one day. You got to be in the locker room. You got to travel with the team. You be around and build that camaraderie. It's a lot of us, man. It's a lot of us. There's millions and millions and millions of us who play college basketball who never, ever even walked on that other side. Okay. So for what you accomplished and what you did, man, has to be applauded, man, because we all have those dreams.
Yep.
Right. We all want to hit the lotto. Right. And for you to, to walk through those doors and said, I played in the NBA, which only about 5,000 people have done it. I don't think it reached 6,000 yet.
Yeah, and humankind,
right. Right. That's a fact. That's a fact. And we going all the way back to the 50s.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So that that small group of players who got a chance to play, especially coming from New York, where we got everything stacked against us, and make it there. I think it's dope, man. I think it's dope. And you experienced the business of basketball as far as being traded, but you didn't let that stop you because you went from one team, you went to the Milwaukee Bucks and Seattle Supersonics. When it was the Seattle Supersonics, yo, salute, bro, salute. One of my favorite teams in the 70s, man. Definitely, who are now the Oklahoma Thunder. And then you take your talent overseas, right? And you got to see the world, right? What was it like? You get to experience the life of the NBA player, and then you go overseas and you get to travel the world and see places that a lot of us only see on television, bro.
It was awesome. It was awesome to be able to travel the world, to be so young. The experiences, being able to see just places that I never thought I would visit, right? That I just never had a thought of visiting.
Right.
Just being able to open up yourself for those adventures, meeting new people, playing basketball in Italy, right? So you're playing basketball in Italy one day, and then the next day you're, visiting and driving around Venice, right? It's just where, people spend thousands of dollars to do that vacation, right? And I was there, right? I was walking around in Rome, right? So it was awesome. Played everywhere, Italy, Australia, played in Paris, China. I played a ton of places, so I definitely very appreciative of my journey and the opportunities that I were afforded.
Favorite country to play in outside of America?
Australia.
Australia?
That style of play, up and down. In Europe, they slow you down. You can't even. I used to always get the ball. I'll get an outlet pass, and then I'm throwing the ball out of my hand, and I'm stepping afterward. They call it travel. Just because it looked like, to them, they call it travel. I'm like, man, this is like 3 breakaway dunks I had. Like, you guys serious? But in Australia, it's a fast-paced game. And I know a lot of other leagues and countries are starting to catch up, but Australia was doing this, what they're doing now, they was doing that back then. So it's extremely fun. And while you're playing in that league, for us, it's winter. For them, it's summer. So, you're living in a condo off the beach in the summer and you're playing hoops. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. And there's no language barrier as well.
Right. Especially a city like a place like Melbourne. It's crazy.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. Look, I always talk about the Euro. Back in the day, you did a Euro step in my era. They was calling it a walk.
Absolutely. Easy.
Travel. Get out of here, young man. What you doing?
100%. 100%.
Crazy. Did you pick up any different languages? Did you learn how to speak any different languages?
I attempted to learn French a couple times. I played there 2 different times. Never stuck. So, but everywhere you go, they know some English, right? That's, I guess, the arrogance of Americans, I guess, around the country. It's like, hey, I'm coming in your country. You speak my language.
The king's language. Yes.
Exactly. But no, I didn't. But my favorite city in the world is Paris. Love the architecture. It's just a visually stunning place. And every time I'm there, it's just like, oh man, I can live here. I can absolutely live here.
Yeah, when my kids, they watching basketball and they're like, yo, we won last night. I was like, yeah, you speak French, huh? Yeah, we.
Exactly. We.
Yeah, for sure. When did the coaching bug get you, man? Because we talked about earlier, you come from a long line of coaches from St. Ray's, and I think you guys have the biggest tree in New York City history as far as coaching.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And New York City history is crazy.
Yes. So just growing up, I've always been around great coaches. They weren't the easiest to play for because they didn't let me do whatever I wanted. I had to be a disciplined ball player. I had to do the right things in the classroom in order to play on Saturdays and Sundays. So I've always kind of had that, after I'm finished playing, I'm either going to be a college basketball analyst, right? Or NBA analyst, or I wanted to go into coaching. And while I was playing during the summers, I will always go back and I will coach AAU. And Dana Dingle and Shandu McNeil, they're running the New York Lightning.
Yeah.
So I would go back and I would go young, 15 and under, and I'll be coaching with Coach Wash, and I'll be his assistant, like his second, third assistant, right? And just be able to help these young men, right, on their journeys. And when I started doing that, I got that bug. I was like, you know what? I could see myself doing this. And then once I retired from playing, I was 30 years old, played 7 years internationally, 3 in the league. And I was working for the ACC Digital Network now, which is the ACC Network.
Mm-hmm.
And if I would have stayed there, I would probably be doing Sports Center by now, right? It's what I went to school, what I studied. I enjoyed it. I loved it very much so. I loved working the ACC Network. But I had an opportunity. I got a call from Nate Oates, who was then just got the head job at the University of Buffalo. After spending a year as an assistant there, he got it. And he gave me a call and he said, hey, I'm looking for a player development coach. It's ironic because that's what I'm looking for right now, a player development coach. And he had the opportunity and the pay was extremely low, right? He said, but this will be an opportunity to get in. And, I spoke it over with my family. And I said, hey, I played a lot of years professional. I can, for a year or two, be able to do this and let's see what happens. And it was the best decision I could have made. I absolutely love what I'm doing.
And look at Nados now, went from Buffalo to now he's the head coach at Alabama, got our guy Anderson Diaz over there, right? So
absolutely.
The same for you, goes for the, for head coaches as well, that chance to kind of move up. And you got a chance to go there, and then you get a chance Santa Clara.
That's right, at Santa Clara. So after I was with Nate Oates for that year's player development, but I was also / offensive coordinator for him. So I was doing the scouts, and every team I had to watch, all right, how do they defend? Because this is going to be the offensive plan to beat them, right, on the offensive end. From there, I went to Santa Clara for 2 years with my former college head coach, Herb Sindak.
Yep.
So he brought it back full circle. And that was awesome to learn from him because he learned from the likes of Rick Pitino. He was with Rick Pitino's staff at Kentucky and moving with him at Providence, Kentucky for 9 years before he got his start as a head coach. So I'm not only playing for Coach Sindak for 4 years, but then being on his staff and learning from him from a coaching capacity for 2 years. It's just whatever Rick Pitino told him, he told me, right? So in terms of expertise and the experience gained, it is amazing. You could put me in any situation in the basketball game, right? 10 seconds left, which play you run in, a minute left, you're down by 5, 3 minutes, you name it. Baseline out of bounds, down by 1, 2 seconds left. I have a set I can draw up right now on a dime, just like right now. And you do that by learning from some of the best. Now, I have some scars from it because Coach was on my ASS.
Right.
He was like, hey, Julius, you're not playing no more. You coaching, all right? I want your buddy in here. You're going to be in here at 5 a.m., and you might not get home until 10 p.m. There's literally a day where I was in the office for 48 straight hours. I did not go home for 48 hours. We played Gonzaga. It was my scout, right? At the time, Gonzaga in the West Coast Conference. No one's beating them. They were killing everybody, right? They were a high major team and not a high major conference at the time.
Yeah.
And they beat us by 50 points. Rui Hachimura was a rookie on their team, and he ended up scoring about 18 points in like the last 6 minutes. And And coach was like, well, why didn't you have him on the scouting report? I said, Coach, he never plays. I said, but he's going to end up being a pro. This dude's really good. I said, but he never played. He averaged 4 minutes per game. I got 11 guys on the scouting report. I wasn't going to put him on. He said, well, then put 12. So we was going to play them again. And he said, I need you to give me a new game plan because we need to beat them. And he was serious. And I put together a game plan. And like when he walked in, so I'm in there 48 straight hours. And when he walked in, he can tell I haven't slept. Like I did not sleep. I was up for 48 straight hours. And my whole board was just all writing. And he walks in. And it's like I could see like he was just proud. And he was just like, and then he said, can you give me the eraser? I gave it to him. He walked up to the board. Erased everything. He said, now, and as he's still doing it, he's talking. He said, now I need you to be able to regurgitate this to the guys without looking at your notes, and they have to be able to understand it. You got 30 minutes. That was it. I was like, wait, all of that? And I did it. But that's how you get better in the business. And he was preparing me. So that's why I know there's not a situation on the court where I'm not prepared for it. And my team, most importantly, is not prepared for it.
Not seeing you coach and listen to you speak about your coaching experience, I could tell that you're a great coach and you're going to have, you're just beginning to scratch the surface to where you need to go and where you're going to go because a lot of great players coach with their egos, right? Mm-hmm. And to be a great coach, you got to put your ego to the side. Mm-hmm. You got to put your ego to the side and do the work.
Yes.
Right? And I think at that moment, coach tested you, and you passed.
Absolutely.
Right? And now, how did that guy do the next time you guys played against him?
We lost by 30 points. It's a 20-point difference. 20 points. We cut it. 20 points. That's amazing.
Right. How did Hachimura do?
He didn't do anything.
See, that's key, right? Because we talk about the Jeremy Lin syndrome, right? Wasn't on the scout report. Once you get in the scout report, it's a total different landscape.
Absolutely. I mean, we cut it for 20 points. Typically, you don't lose by 50. You lose by 7 or 9.
Right.
11. So any other game, we would have won the next game. But, I was like, you know what? I think I'm getting better. The coach is like, yeah, we effing lost by 30 points. But good job, Jules. I was like, is he serious or not? But all right, whatever. Okay.
And then now you're at Lincoln University. We were so proud of you that you got the head coach's job. It went all around the city. Everybody was talking about it. And we were so proud of you finally get your head coaching job. What was it about Lincoln University that you love so much that drew you to that university?
It was just a great opportunity. So our athletic director, I met him at a coaching search event thrown by Coach Lavelle Moten, who's one of my guys, one of my mentors. I have tremendous respect for Coach. And I was there, and it was the end of the second day, and we were having rounds with ADs and decision makers, and we were talking with them, supposed to go for 5 minutes. And I got to Harry Stinson, who was our former AD, and now he's our vice president of the school. And we spoke for about almost half an hour. And it was just natural. And we were just talking about everything. He was, and I knew, right, whenever I'm speaking with somebody, right, decision maker, it's always an interview. So right now, this interview is an interview to me by an AD or a coaching search firm.
No doubt.
But me and Harry we hit it off right away. And I knew this would be a great place. And then as I was going through the process and I started doing my research and seeing how close it is to Philly, and Delaware is right around the corner, New Jersey's right around the corner, and I'm a hop, skip, and a run away from the city. DC is close. I say, there's definitely a hotbed where, I can put my footprint in here and make a difference.
No doubt, man. No doubt. And that you have been doing, man. When you first got there to where you at now, right? And getting to this upcoming season, how do you feel personally about your progress and where you guys are at?
So my first season here at Lincoln University, we won the second most wins in Lincoln University men's basketball history with 18 wins. We won the most most conference wins in Lincoln University history since joining the CIAA.
Wow.
We went on a 7-game win streak at one point. We were a senior-laden team. We had 9 seniors, all guys who have had championship experience, guys who have been around the block. But it was still, even though it was success, when you look at underneath that, some things you still have to clean up in terms of building that foundation, right?
Yeah.
Going brick by brick. So the first year we lost in the Final Four of the conference tournament. And everybody was happy, and I was pissed. Right?
You wanted more. That's right.
Yeah. It's just, damn, man. It's just, I don't know. You're just never satisfied. Like, good enough is not good enough. It's not for me. It's never going to be. I want to be the best, and if I'm the best, then I'm able to sit back and say, you know what, this was supposed to happen because I outworked everybody. So it's still never quite satisfied until after. So when you're talking about my high school career and college career, I'm like, you know what? I was a bad boy back then.
Nah, you definitely was, bro. Definitely was.
I'll give that to me. But we had a ton of success my first year. And then my second year here at Lincoln, we were freshman led, right? So I brought in a freshman class, and I had plenty of games where I was starting 4 freshmen. We didn't have a senior, only team in the league that was senior list, and we were the youngest team in the conference, and not just the youngest, right? Because you be young and have talent, be good, but we didn't have the experience, so it was definitely a lot of growing pains. And the thing with the portal, right, from year to year, you can make a quick change, right? I'm all about retention. I want to keep guys, but I know with the portal, if a guy don't play enough, he's going to leave. A guy plays a lot, but he doesn't feel like he's able to play his game, he's going to go. We were able to keep our best player, all right, Julius Hodge, and we kept 50% of our team. So 6 of our 12 guys returned. And I'm telling you, in the transfer portal, whoever, that's amazing, right? People don't do that. Within our league, nobody's retained 50%.
Nah.
It doesn't happen. Around the country, guys are like, man, I was able to keep, two good pieces on our team. How many you brought in from last season? With 2 guys? That's it. So we have something where, this upcoming year, we brought in 8 new guys, right? 7 transfers, 1 freshman. 4 Division I, former Division I players, 3 of which who played a ton of time, Division I, right? So they wasn't just there at Division I level, but they played. And then we also have another one of those transfers who didn't play at a Division I level, but in the CIAA he played before, and he was all conference. So we're looking to be a much better team. We're going to have 7 seniors this year, and we're going to see how it goes. But the thing is, from day one, it goes back to the 4 cornerstones of the program: discipline, accountability, respect, and perseverance through fighting adversity. If the guys are willing to do that, we will have a ton of success. But most importantly, we will have what comes from within, which is excellence.
Yeah. How do you stay hungry and still wanting to improve, knowing that the transfer portal can deplete your roster at any moment?
That comes from within. I am never full. I'm a vegan. I don't eat until I'm full. I don't eat until I get a big belly. It's always something in there wanting to get better. I have to prove myself.
Great
and I want that for everyone around me. All right. In every situation, I am competing. Maybe you don't know who's competing right now, but I want to be the best looking bald guy in this interview right now. In this room, I'm the best looking bald guy right now. We're competing. You know, I'm not going to be sweating more than you.
No doubt. It's
just a mentality. Seriously, it's just a mentality in everything I do.
My guy CK from Upstate. What up, CK? Appreciate you, man. He helps a lot with our high school podcast that we have as well. Mm-hmm. And let me know, bro, because you know I got my ears and eyes on the whole city, man. So whenever, just reach out anytime. High school guys.
Holla at me.
Yeah. He said, could y'all move up to the MEAC?
It's always a possibility. We just have to continue building and not just, men's basketball program, right? But also football team, volleyball, you name the sport. We have a really good track and field program and baseball program. And if we continue growing, right, as an athletic department, you never know, what can happen here in the near future, right? Where we have a brand new facility, Rivero, that we're building, right, with 35 million plus in improvements. So we're doing this thing at a very high level. It's not just going to be the best facility in the CIAA. It's going to be one of the best facilities in all of Division II basketball. You look at a lot of Division I programs, I would just say in New York and New Jersey area, and we're going to have a way better facility. We are constantly building here on this campus. So it's a great place to be. All right. Our leadership, my AD, Josh Dean, is doing a terrific job. And we're going to continue growing.
Well, that was going to lead you answered my next question, because I was going to ask you to kind of give everybody like your outlook on your school and why they should come to Link University. And you definitely just answered that question, man. So that's dope. Last question before we have some fun, man. If you could change anything about your career, what were one thing that you would change and why?
Change anything about my career in terms of what, as a coach?
Anything.
That's a great question. Off the top of the head, I do not have an answer. I love the moves that I made. I was able to learn, right, first from Coach Oates, and then going to Coach Sinek, where it was just every day I'm sitting down in a classroom. I am not the smartest person in the room, and I am learning from a literal genius, right? And then going with Coach Prelo at San Jose State after that for 3 years, and who's from Teaneck, New Jersey, right? Went to Fordham, was a great ball player, and got into the profession. Was with Colorado when they got really good, was putting out draft picks every year. He's an assistant there. But as a head coach, just learning from him and being able to, when you do drill work, it's not just it's 3 guys on offense, 3 guys on defense, and let guys do what they want. No, it's you're putting together a menu, right, in terms of drills that's directly doing your offensive actions, right? You are absolutely working on what you're going to be doing in the game. And when it comes to that, defensive rotations, I mean, Pre was 10 years ahead of everybody. Everyone's doing now with the pill switching. So let's say if I'm guarding a guy in a corner, he drives by me, right? And then you have the defender at the bucket, and he meets him outside the paint. Instead of getting 2 on the ball, the guy that just got beat, he's peeling opposite, right? So now in the backside, you're dropping and you're covering everything. So there's not 2 on the ball. There's only 1. So now you're basically rotating into steals and you're living in transition. We was doing that 10 years ago at San Jose State. Guys are just now doing that. So from working with him and then going to Little Rock and being with Coach Darryl Walker for 3 years, when I first got on campus, we were the worst team in the conference by far, by a mile. It was the worst team. Program was not in good shape till when I left 3 years later, and we won the OVC, right? And being next to Coach Walker, in terms of being in an ATO and coming out with an ATO play, there's nobody better out of a timeout. All right. You talking about somebody who was a 2-time NBA head coach, played for 10 years in the NBA. Out of a timeout, I haven't seen somebody better than Darryl Walker. All right.
Great basketball mind. Yeah.
Yes. Respect. So until now, me being a head coach here at Lincoln, I think I've made some good moves and to be able to propel myself. Some people may say, hey, man, you could have got an assistant job at NC State. Why didn't you take that? Blah, 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 blah. I'm on my journey, right? Gainey's my guy at NC State. He's going to do a great job, and I'm rooting for him. Right now, I'm having a great job being a head coach here at Lincoln University, and I want to get us really good, all right? I want to be able to test myself and see if I'm able to do that. And I'm learning every single day. Throughout the summer, I've been to so many practices. I've texted and called so many head coaches. A lot of them left me on red, ignore me. A ton of them said, come on, you could come through to my practice. And I've been everywhere, learning and getting better so that I can help my guys once they get to campus.
That's awesome. And the foundation of that is relationships.
Absolutely.
Right? And
Absolutely.
that's as long as that relationship door is open, you're able to walk into places that other people are not. So
that's right. Absolutely.
That's awesome. Yeah. All right, man, let's have some fun. All right, ready to get to our top 5?
All right,
now listen, I'm going to tell you, Jules, you can't pick nobody off the bench, no matter what I ask. You only get 5.
Got you. Got LeBron. Right. LeBron. Magic and LeBron. What are we talking about?
Nah, we talking about Jordan. All right, let's go.
Top 5. Top 5.
All right. Jules, top 5 guys you played with.
Top 5 dudes I played with. Okay, I got to go with Iverson, Melo, Michael Redd, Marcus Camby, and Vince Carter.
Man, people don't talk about Michael Redd enough, man. Oh, man, killer, smooth, lefty, crazy.
Absolutely.
That's a dope 5, man. That's a dope 5. Top 5 guys you played against.
Top 5 guys I played against. Dwayne Wade. Prime D Wade was incredible.
Yo, and people don't realize how long his arms are. Like, I stood next to this guy, I was like, damn, I'm taller than this guy, but his arms are so long and his hands are so big. It's crazy.
Yeah, this long, strong dude. Once he gets that inch and he's driving ahead of you, you're not getting back in front of him because his shoulders were so big and strong. He's so athletic. Kyrie Irving, I could not guard him a day in my life. I attempted. He was out of college. I'm like, he's a young guy. I could lock him up. Couldn't do it. Couldn't guard him. He's everything he could do with the right hand, he can do with the left, including shoot.
Yep.
He's incredible.
Yeah.
Listen to the players. The players say how incredible he is. Don't listen to these guys that never hooped or never had a second of sweat equity on the court. Listen to the players. All right. Who else? Who was difficult? I played against
3 more. Who?
Got to throw Kobe in there.
Oh, the Mamba.
Yeah. Got to, man. Even though I held Kobe in my only start in the NBA, I held him to 8 points. All right.
Dang, put that on your wall, fam. Put that on your wall. Not too many people can say that.
Exactly. He's one of those guys. Who else will I say is difficult to guard? Paul Pierce.
Oh, another unguardable guy.
Yeah, you can't guard him. Prime
mid-range king.
Prime truth was, man, ain't nothing to talk about. You couldn't guard the dude. And who would be the last guy? I played against AI as well. He's impossible to guard.
Oh, another one. Arms long as hell. He's maybe 5'3" for real, but I know he's 6 feet. But damn, he just was like unbelievable.
Hands and just could dribble the ball. And once he got going at mid range,
you
know you can't play him too close. Now he's gonna cross you, go right by you. Yeah, AI is a problem.
Man, you went through this kind of smooth, man. Kind of smooth. All right, top 5 players in New York City history according to Coach Julius Hodge.
Hey, you can't put that pressure on me, man. Most of the guys I haven't even seen them. That's for you.
Okay. No. Again, I'm asking through your eyes, right?
Yeah.
I don't expect you to go back to all time to people you didn't see. Yeah. I was about, according to you, who you think is the top 5 players. According to, like, this is talking about the people that you saw. I go to
the
this
people I saw. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't see, Lou Alcindor and some of the older guys. I didn't see them. Who? Well, I gotta go with Harlem first. I'm gonna go with God Sham God. All right, Sham was my guy, my hometown. He was a whiz with the ball. Stephon Marbury. I seen Steph putting in so much extra work in the Gauchos gym. It was just a big reason why I just was like, hey, I'm gonna work as hard as I possibly can. Oh my gosh. My era, not my era, but who I saw, Ron Artest.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. Was a beast. All right, nobody's messing with Ron. All right, you can't leave Felipe off this list.
You only got 2 more, fam. Can't bring nobody else.
You got 2 more. That's crazy. Oh, man. That's crazy. That's crazy right there. Let me see. 2 more. I gotta go with T Wrench, St. Raymond's.
Yes.
You go with T Wrench
for sure.
And then for the last one, guy, I know I'm leaving a bunch of guys out. Don't be mad at me, man.
That's okay. Get over it.
All right, I'm gonna go with another, a guy who I really liked. Right. I'm gonna put. That's tough. One more. Damn, there's so many good players. I might go with a younger guy. I'm gonna go with Skip. Ray for Austin.
Hey, listen, nobody's had the same 5 ever,
Yeah, no way. No, it's impossible.
So many great players in New York City. It's crazy, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's a damn good 5, and you picked all guards, which is,
Yeah. Oh no, wait. Oh crap, Lamar Odom.
Nope, you can't get sticks. I told you. I knew this. No. I knew it was going to happen. I knew it was going to happen. Who you taking off? Who you taking off the list?
I gotta. Oh man, Sham is my guy. That's Harlem. Skip, I love you. I'm gonna go with LO.
Okay, got you.
Gotta go with LO.
No doubt. Your prototype.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Hey, listen, man. This is awesome, bro. This is awesome. I always enjoy seeing you out. You always come back to New York City. You make sure you tap in, and keep abreast of what's going on in New York City. So definitely looking forward to seeing you again, man. And again, if I see a player too, I'm gonna reach out and be like, yo, listen, bro, check this guy out. You know what I'm saying? Definitely do that, man.
I appreciate that. Thanks for having me, man.
No doubt, man. New York City brotherhood, man.
For sure.
No doubt. Coach Julius Hodge, folks. Coach Julius Hodge. All right. You can stick around for our outro, or I'll see you later. All right.
Appreciate you.
No doubt. Man, oh man. Listen. When you know what you have to do as a youngster to get to the next level, sacrifice is everything. You may have to sacrifice that hot date on the prom. You may have to sacrifice going out with your fellas on that Friday night to put in that work. You may have to sacrifice, some things that's going on in your family. I've done it. I've missed so many Thanksgivings and Christmases and, family reunions. So I could just imagine those guys that made it to the next level and what they had to sacrifice. You have to be able to persevere through anything, because life gonna have its challenges, and it's just what you do to be able to overcome those challenges to make you the best player that you have to be. And that's what Coach Julius Hodge did. He did it at St. Ray's, did at NC State, and he made it to the NBA. Played overseas, and now he's doing it on the coaching ranks. As a great coach, you can see he has put his ego to the side and learned from the best. So, if you ever want to be like Julius Hodge, you know what you have to do. Listen to a story and it'll get you through. Oh, I'm still rapping. Ah! Y'all know what it is. I'm your host, Glenn Pooh Harding, and you've been watching Basketball Heads Live, the podcast on NYC basketball history. We are the official home for New York City basketball. Peace.
Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Yes. You have just stepped out into the world of chaos. Where everybody goes hard. Come on. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Or go home. Never back down. You gotta hold your own. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. East Coast. Go hard. West Coast. Go hard. Midwest. Go hard. Dirty. Happy up, everybody. Get online, buy your tickets, cause the game about to start.